Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
Hawg fanatics, we at Inside the Hawg Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not so good deal. As a special offer, Hawg fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code INSIDEHOGPEN. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code INSIDEHOGPEN.
This is where the fun begins. What is up, everybody?
But we've seen
this movie before. What's Sam Pittman known for?
I don't know.
Exactly. Is the Arkansas athletic program cursed? You never know what the loudest mouth in the fan base and his wild band of misfits are going to say.
I have a river of Kool-Aid for basketball.
It's time to step inside the Hawg Pen with your host, Razorback Zach and Marcus MC Carlton.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to an all-new episode of Inside the Hawg Pen. I am your host from the Central Arkansas Hawg Pen, Razorback Zach, as always, joined by my wild band of misfits from the NEA Hawg Pen. We've got my co-host, cohort, and all-around good guy, Marcus MC Carlton, who is also the glue that holds the whole thing together. But he's out of uniform tonight, so he's kind of like more like Scotch tape.
I'm just paying tribute to my boys, AC and DC. So
I was actually wearing one of their shirts earlier today. And then, of course, up the street from me here in the Central Arkansas area is none other than our executive producer and fan of the Little Rock Trojans.
It's a traveler's hat, but I mean, it's going to work.
Dylan D. Madden. What's up, boys?
What's up, buddy?
how's it going?
We're not going to talk about how's it going because I lost a bet. All right. Before we get started, I'm a man of my word. So I'm just going to show the proof that I actually am going to do this tonight. There's the biscuit, and it is, well, let's just put it this way. If you throw it, it will shatter a window. And then there's the jar of Nutella. So it will be happening later in the show. So if you want to see this go down, and here was the bet. All right, and I've never been more happy to lose a bet than I did with the regionals. Right. Okay? I'm a Razorback fan through and through, okay? But we had to add some juice to this. And because of the last couple of years, I made a bet. There's my daughter. I made a bet with our fan, Carolyn Williams. And she, if we don't make it out of the regional, she said you have to eat a biscuit with Nutella. Cool. Because based on previous years.
Well, yeah, the last 2 years, I mean,
I had that to go on. Well, Arkansas not only won their regional, they blew the competition away. So here we are.
3-0. We did what we were supposed to do.
They did what they were supposed to do. Now it's my turn to do what I'm supposed to do, which is apparently choke on a Popeye's biscuit. But that's happening later in the show. Hey, before we get into the show, let me tell you about the final jump shot. My boy over here, Marcus MC Carlton and Cam Productions, this final jump shot. I gotta tell you guys, I am not the biggest basketball fan in the world, but he has got something going on. If you guys like not only the history of high school basketball, but just Arkansas basketball as a whole on the high school level, y'all need to check this out because some of these schools are no longer, well, all of these schools are not around anymore, right? Right, MC?
Yeah. So the premise is I am trying to bring a little spotlight and notoriety back to schools that were basketball powerhouses. Most of them are known as Class B schools. So you have 6A, 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A. These were Class B is how small they were. And so everybody so far, and everybody that we're going to have in an episode was a school that has been consolidated into a larger district.
Okay. Well, episode 7's out now. Like I said, I've been plugging it for several weeks now on all of our platforms. And while you're at it, check out Inside the Hog Pen's podcast platform as well. We've got all of our archived episodes from the past. Plus, we've got a couple of good things sprinkled in, like games at War Memorial and why they should not happen. NIL, our rivalry with Texas.
Speaking of Texas,
wait a minute.
Talk about choke jobs.
Wait a minute.
Talk about choke jobs.
Oh, wow. Woo.
Starting it off early today, Amy.
Hold on. Wait, hold on, D. Hold on.
Did y'all see the picture on social media of the cleats that the Texas players were wearing?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Did y'all see that? It had Omaha inside the cleat.
Classy, isn't it?
I mean, there's nothing quite like putting Omaha inside your cleats and then losing to an in-state school in your regional. So
next up on the list, I got to thank everybody that tuned in to Inside the Hog Pen Radio. It was such a fun thing. It is currently on hiatus, but I will be back on the Dave Ellswick Show starting tomorrow at our regular time, 10 o'clock. And I'm debating doing the bet live on that show as well, but I don't know how well that can go.
I know.
I gotta ask you something about this bet.
Tomorrow, Friday. Sorry.
I know part of the bet was the fact that you can't take a drink while you're doing this, but do you have something on standby? Because we don't have anybody there to give you the Heimlich maneuver.
I have three. What you don't see on cameras, I've got 3 different drinks here to hit.
Okay,
right at the
all
end
right.
of the show. So, and I have 911 on standby. But Friday morning, 10 a.m., Dave Ellswick Show. I'll be back talking about talking all things Razorback. And but D-Mad, we've got a birthday in our midst. Hit that beautiful music.
Ooh, there it is. Hold on.
All right, so y'all know I like to do shout outs on this show. Birthdays, anniversaries, big celebrations. So we have a birthday in our midst. He is known to me as Speed Racer. And here's the thing. I would have played the Speed Racer theme, but we are licensed, there's a little thing called copyright violations, and I don't want to get
we would have got muted.
So but Elijah Donatelli, 18 years old today. 18 years old. I don't remember 18. It was such a long time ago. Dylan's like, that was like 2 years ago for me.
They're going after you in these comments, man.
I know. And here's the thing. Y'all keep it up because at the end of the show, y'all are going to want to pay attention. For those of you that are joining us, it's actually going down tonight. There's the biscuit, and it looks like it's getting harder as the night goes on.
And for the people that don't know why, it's because Zach had this great idea to make a bet with one of our viewers that Arkansas would not get out of the regionals. Even after seeing the regional that we had, he was like, "No, man, I still don't see it. I'm a root for him, but I still don't see it."
I mean, we got beat by SEMO last year.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than that. I mean,
give me a little bit of a break. Okay, so real quick, I got a text here. Why am I calling Elijah a speed racer? Because he ran in the Special Olympics and he ran the 50 meters. And I'm just gonna say this. he kicked it into second gear and took off like a Naruto run. I mean, arms back, head down, he took off and he won the damn thing. So that's why I call him Speed Racer. But all right, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of this as I stare over at my impending doom over here at this biscuit. Arkansas wins the regional. They play Tennessee. Tenor. The Volunteers.
There we go.
And here's your regional. Now, here's the thing. We're going to go through this. You've got Stanford and Louisville and Miami. You've got Florida State and Oregon State. You've got Arizona, North Carolina, Coastal Carolina, and Auburn. UTSA, what is that? UCLA down there?
UCLA,
Maryland and Duke, West Virginia, and LSU. And then in the Eugene, Oregon Super Regional at Tom Walker Stadium.
At Fayetteville, Alaska.
Yeah, at Fayetteville, Alaska, you have Tennessee and Arkansas. Who the hell is smoking?
I mean, it's, here we are all these years later. We haven't had a super regional at home since 2021 and Charlie Welch. And apparently the NCAA not only forgot that the abbreviation for Arkansas is AR and not AK, but they're also believing that, I guess we're out in the Pacific Northwest now in Eugene.
But that,
at least those two states are close to each other.
Not even
relatively close.
Not even in the same conference, but still. But there's your super regionals matchups there. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna start with this. Outside of the Tennessee Arkansas Super,
yeah.
What's the intriguing matchup you've got right here?
I'm gonna interrupt y'all just real quick. We got a famous celebrity in the house. Oh,
Mr.
Lanzilli.
The man, the myth, the legend, ITHP's good friend Chris Lanzilli. Hey, he was awesome on the show last week.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And apparently he took that same mojo over to the regional because, once he announced he was showing up, he got there and the boys took care of business.
By the way,
they put on a show for him.
We may have started his media career because I think he was on the radio throughout the week. But I would just like to say to all the other radio stations and all the other podcasts that have picked him up, he started here first. Thank you very much.
There you go.
It's almost shut up, Dylan.
Man. Real quick, and we're gonna we're probably gonna try to get to this later on, D-Mad, but I want to touch on this comment real quick. Our old friend Garrett Ray's in the comments says, Woo Pig Suey, how do you feel about the football team from spring practice? We'll get into that later in the show, but that's a good question. And I've got some things I gotta say about that. But big thank you to everybody watching. Okay, so let's get back to the regional here.
All right.
We'll talk about Tennessee, Arkansas, obviously, but D-Mad, we'll start with you. Who is your most intriguing matchup in the Supers outside of Tennessee, Arkansas?
To me, I hate to be that guy, but it's got to be West Virginia and LSU. It's going to be the next people if Arkansas makes it out of the Supers, obviously. It's going to be the next team Arkansas faces. And honestly, it's, to me, the heaviest hitter left in the bracket to me.
We're going to talk about their regional here in just a second because UALR took them to the limit.
Yeah.
Took them to the limit. And we're going to touch on that in just a second. But are they on the other side of the regional from Super on the other side of the bracket from us? Or are they on the same?
They are going to be if LSU or whoever wins the Baton Rouge Super Regional is going to face the winner of the Fayetteville Super Regional
in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So for those of you that don't know, UALR was in the Baton Rouge Regional, and they were the first?
They were the 4 seed.
There was a first 4 seed to beat LSU in a regional, right?
Yeah,
I think
at Alex Box, yes.
Yeah, at Alex Box. And let me tell you something. The UALR Trojans, the only reason they got in was because they won the OVC. That's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They lost the last 15 games of the regular season. I know they kept on pulling that stat out there, but that's a crazy stat at the same time. Big props to Chris Curry and the UALR Trojans.
I think they deserve one of these. We got to put the one up for Little Rock and Chris Curry because they took LSU to the limit and put a scare into those fans because when they jumped out to that 5-1 lead in that winner go home game, Alex Box Stadium, you could hear a pin drop in it.
Mm-hmm. I thought for sure that they were going to go to the Super. I was like 5-1. Here we go. Cinderella team right here.
Yeah.
And I think
I
that
think
got
they just ran out of gas.
They did. Something that got overshadowed going into the game, Chris was it Chris Curry? Is that what his name is?
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah.
He had a interview with the broadcasters, and they asked him, like, how do you describe this run y'all are on? And the words he said were life-changing.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that's very, very true, because he might not be at Little Rock next year.
Yeah.
It's facts. I mean, there's going to be a team like Virginia that lost their coach to Mississippi State that might want to take a risk on taking him in.
That hire surprised me.
I mean, not LSU, Mississippi State. They're a blue blood of college baseball. I mean, they really are.
Yep.
And you have Chris Curry. He might be an older guy, but he kind of just proved that he can go with it. He can bring a team together, and it could have just changed his life, where he's going to make generational wealth after that.
Oh yeah. MC, who's your most intriguing matchup outside of Tennessee, Arkansas?
I'll tell you the one that I like, and it's probably not going to be one that a lot of people are going to pick, but I'm kind of interested in this Coastal Carolina and Auburn matchup.
Yeah.
I think that is going to be very entertaining. My honorable mention would be Murray and Duke, because nobody expected either one of those teams to be there.
I didn't expect Murray to be in.
I'm very happy that Murray is there.
Yes. Absolutely. They beat the dog snot out of Ole Miss, didn't they?
Well, they were up like 7-1 or something like that. They ended up having to hang on for dear life and won 12-11, I believe.
Oh yeah, I remember they were I remember that.
But the Rebels made this huge comeback and got it all the way back to 12-11, and then I believe they had the tying run on base in the bottom of the ninth and popped out with a can of corn to end it. So kudos to the Murray State Racers.
I'm gonna sting some feelings here for a second.
All right.
It's not an intriguing matchup, but it is going to be a matchup I'm going to watch, because I want a piece of the Oregon State Beavers.
I think we swept them earlier this year, didn't we?
No. It doesn't matter in the regular season. I want them in Omaha, and I want to kick the snot out of them.
I'm not 100% sure on this, but if we were to run into them, there would be one place and one place only that we'd run into them.
Don't go there yet. Don't go there yet.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
I'm not. Well, I'll say this. I'm not.
You got to get through Tennessee first.
Yeah, you got to get through Tennessee. But I will say this: the way this thing is shaping up, and to quote the timeless Nature Boy Ric Flair, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Well, right now, Tennessee is still sitting on top of that mountain as the man. If, and I'm not touching the money here, but if Arkansas is able to get beyond Tennessee, it's shaping up really good. It's shaping up almost like a storybook ending. And I'll say this, if it comes down to what you just mentioned with that matchup, I mean, that is the baseball gods offering redemption.
I just want to put it out there.
So wait a minute. Wait. I got this. Segue. So what you're saying is, if the baseball gods offer redemption and we win a national title, could it be the curse of the Arkansas Razorbacks has been broken?
Too early to tell. Sorry.
Yes.
It's too early to tell about a national championship possibility.
Yeah. You know what I said back in March on this show?
I'm going to drive down the street and kick you.
I don't remember, but I know you do.
I said this team is looking very similar to one 2018 team.
There's some similarities.
He did say that. He did say that
on this show.
Yep, you did.
Let's go to the comments before we get into Tennessee, Arkansas. Put your finger down. Garrett Ray up there for me.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I've got it if you need me to.
There you go.
So his picks are Louisville, Oregon State, Arizona, Coastal, UTSA, Murray State, LSU, and Arkansas. Okay.
Man, UTSA, you talk about a Cinderella run.
Mhm.
Who did they beat? Who did they beat again?
I don't speak
did
for
they beat?
orange colors.
Who did they beat again?
I mean, but think about that. If they were to get to Omaha, I mean, I mentioned Storybook a while ago. It has to be Storybook for UTSA if they're able to beat UCLA, which I think they can. I haven't watched UCLA play a whole lot, but what I have seen, I'm not super impressed with them. If there is a Cinderella team in the mix, it has to be them or Murray State, right?
Wait.
Hold on. Before we keep going, I got to throw this comment up here because we have actually confirmed that this is Zach's child.
It is confirmed. That is my daughter, Chloe.
It is confirmed.
Is the day the apocalypse begins, pigs fly, and the sky is red.
The defeatist mentality has made it another generation. Give us a hand, guys. Way to go.
Actually, she's a realist, just like her dad. Not a defeatist.
Amy, you can buy that stuff, Bevo, but I can tell you where it'll end up. Just save your money. Just save the money.
Oh, y'all don't want to come around me during football because I made a bet with her. I'm not going to be able to live down. We're going to get into that later in this season, though. Sam Jones, back from the dead. Sam Jones, Arkansas hosting a baseball super regional makes me more nervous than our O-line coach being put over Border Patrol. Wow. Coming in hot already. If you guys want to know the NBA,
that one makes my head hurt.
Thank everybody for watching. If you guys have a question or a comment, do so in our YouTube and Facebook and on our Twitter, Cam Productions Live Fan Feedback. But all right, so let's jump into the meat and potatoes of why we're all here and what we all want to talk about, and that is this Tennessee Arkansas Super Regional in Baum Walker Saturday, Sunday, and maybe Monday. What are the chances? And we've got to get through Tennessee before we can start thinking about Omaha.
Right.
Okay. What, if anything? I mean, we took 2 out of 3 in the regular season, so we know how to beat Tony V. We know how to beat these guys. Who do you start game 1 and why?
I'm going with the Groot, Zach Groot.
I am Root.
I'm going to tell you that game 1 is the most important game of the series.
Wouldn't game 2 be the most important?
No. If you have 2 games to get 1 win, I feel good about a 50-50 shot. But if you're a win or go home type of environment, I mean, it's not going to end well. But you're going to, I was even listening to a podcast today. They were talking about who you would throw on day 1. You're putting all your eggs into the basket of day 1. If you're up by 2 runs, you're throwing your best reliever. You're throwing your best closer. Because even if it comes to a game 3, if you throw your best on game 1, you might still have enough left in the tank for game 3. But you do not want to throw what?
Hold on. We've seen in MC's words, and I didn't mean to cut you off here, but I've got to throw a curveball at you, no pun intended.
Charlie Welch coming in.
We've seen this story before, okay? Kevin Kopps, okay, threw a complete game, okay, ran out of gas, stayed in longer, but we've
stayed in one pitch too long. It was one
pitch too long, and it was the one pitch that got us in trouble.
You know what really got us in trouble? Not scoring 3 runs.
Granted. But here's the thing, okay? Why would you burn your best pitching in game 1 if you might need them in game 3? Now, you're not going to burn them. They still have the opportunity. Look at what UALR did all weekend. They threw 15 pitchers probably over a 4 or 5 game series. Yeah.
I mean, we have a way deeper bullpen than UALR has. And if we have a team that let's just say you throw Jimenez and Gackle game 1, we win by a razor's margin, but we still win. Lose game 2, going into game 3. Literally everybody except for who pitched in game 2 is available for game 3. Because you're going to have Gackle, and you're going to have, in this situation, you would have Gackle and you would have Jimenez. They have a day's worth of rest. They might come in for about 30 pitches. That's going to be it. But you're gonna throw your ace.
There's also another person you're forgetting, Parker Coyle.
That's another one. You're like I said, you're throwing everything you got at game 1. You have a better chance of winning one game over 2 game span than winning 2 games over 2 game span.
Real
Baseball
quick,
is all about analytics, man.
It is. Real quick, we've gotta. She's a little late, but she's here, and it's ITHP royalty. And I say that because, and most people have been asking me why we call her royalty and why she's in the ITHP Hall of Fame. Well, I tell you what, when you can kick cancer's ass not once, not twice, not even 3 times, but a total of 4 times, she has beaten breast cancer. You kind of get up there on the list. Not to mention she's been day 1, so there's that. But what's up, Casey? Hope Mama and yourself are doing well. Here's the thing, all right, and MC, I want your take because you've in the midst of the Twitter war. Tennessee likes to chirp. Likes to chirp, and yes,
they don't like to be chirped at.
Yes, here's the thing, all right. They have a national championship before we do.
Yep.
You have to pat them on the butt, say good job winning the championship.
Yeah,
y'all are still a bunch of buttholes.
Yeah.
Well,
what you got to do.
But at the same time, okay, think about this. You come into Baum Walker on a Saturday and a Sunday, and you're in the hog. Your bullpen is right below the hog pen.
Saturday night game,
and it's a night game too. Well, late afternoon, night game. Give me Arkansas all day. You're
gonna have probably close to 14,000.
Yeah, you're gonna set attendance records this weekend.
Drunk Razorback fans at that game. I hope that
so you're saying
right
the hog pen will be quite hydrated.
Probably not. Alcohol dehydrates you.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
they'll be inebriated for sure.
Listen,
now, one thing we have not talked about
at the jail sales this weekend.
What's up, MC?
One thing we have not talked about in regards to this weekend, and I'm kind of pulling it up here to make sure that it's still accurate. Saturday is a 60% chance of rain in Fayetteville.
Ooh.
Sunday and Monday look to be okay, but there's a 60% chance of thunderstorms during the day. So there is a chance that this game could get delayed and end up being Baum after dark.
Ooh.
That would also mean they're going to probably push back the Sunday game too. Guess what?
Another night game.
Yeah.
Real quick, D-Mad, before we go to our first break.
I think you have to talk to Carolyn real quick.
Yeah, put it up there. No, you didn't.
No, you haven't missed it.
No, you haven't missed it. There's the biscuit, just so I can prove to you that I'm a man of my word. There's the biscuit. There's the jar of Nutella.
Jones comes in with this. Can we let Taylor Green be our closer game 1? He's throwing some nasty stuff. Nothing like a 90-mile-per-hour grounder. Holy man!
By the way, guys,
Carolyn's got a good point here.
She's got a good point, D-Mad. We haven't even touched on the fact that Tennessee's catcher suspended for the first game. Remind me why again?
Because he's an idiot.
Well, we knew that.
Well, it's because they don't disrespect anything, and they don't do anything wrong over there at Tennessee, from what I've been told on Twitter. That's what I've been told on Twitter, man. Like, I don't know what
it was amateur hour, and he was a Vol being a Vol and doing the little Bush League, Little League antics that they have, and he took it too far. So
and people actually want Tony V with that kind of reputation here.
I'm saying it right now.
And the crowd goes silent all of a sudden.
I'm saying it right now.
Did Razorback Zach just make a really valid point?
Those antics are not going to be this loud this weekend because he knows not to. He knows not to come into Daddy's house and disrespect him.
Yeah.
Well,
they weren't that disrespectful at the end of the end of the year. Yeah, I don't expect them to be now. I throw at their heads if they do it. Throw at their heads.
Well, and here's something else to think about too. You know, Dave's not going to coach forever.
Mm-mm.
What better way for Tony to come back and audition to try to take that role than this super regional? But if he comes in and his team is doing all the little Bush League, crap, I don't know what else to call it. We'll just call it crap that they do.
Because we're a family.
Then that's going to turn a lot of people off because Dave has set a standard where we don't do that stuff. But if he comes in
only to Ole Miss,
only to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
We're gonna step away, take a break. We're gonna let D-Mad catch his breath. But on the other side of the break, we're gonna talk about the hitting that happened with Arkansas in this regional. Plus, on the horizon, y'all are gonna want to stay tuned because biscuit's coming up. I settle a bet with Carolyn Williams right here on Inside the Hog Pen. Coming right back.
Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
Hey, Hawg fanatics. We at Inside the Hog Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not so good deal. As a special offer, Hog fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code INSIDEHOGPEN. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code INSIDEHOGPEN.
Attention Razorback fans and local businesses. Are you ready to reach the most passionate Arkansas sports fans out there? Introducing Inside the Hog Pen, not your normal Razorback talk show. We're fans first and don't try to hide it. No agendas, no propaganda. At Inside the Hog Pen, we call it like we see it. And now we're looking for sponsors to join the team. This is your chance to put your brand in front of thousands of loyal Razorback fans who live and breathe Arkansas sports. From small businesses to major brands, we have sponsorship packages tailored just for you. So let's grow together and make Inside the Hog Pen bigger and better. Don't miss out. Call 501-416-4331 or email us today at insidethehogpen@gmail.com and become a proud sponsor of Inside the Hog Pen.
It's time to step back inside the hog pen to the Mix Design Studios.
All right, welcome back to Inside the Hog Pen. This thing's getting harder as the show goes on. I'm not looking forward to that. Razorback Zach, Marcus, MC Code, and D-Mad, Dylan Madden hanging out with you. I've never been terrified of a biscuit till tonight. I may not ever eat another biscuit again. That's just terrifying. Anyway, so Arkansas completely just controlled this weekend's regional, and I mean, up and down this lineup, D-Mad and MC, it just, what can you say? I mean, Vahiva, I mean, you had like what, 6-7 guys with multiple home runs?
Yeah.
I got one thing to say.
Oh God!
Y'all better enjoy Ryder Helfrich next year because he is gone. He is gone.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Hey, and we have to bring this up too. Vahiva, you mentioned Vahiva. He is officially now a finalist for the Golden Spikes Award.
Give it to him.
Two of the three finalists will be playing in Fayetteville this weekend. Obviously, Vahiva and Liam Doyle is also a finalist.
And Liam Doyle didn't get SEC Player of the Year, so why would he get National Player of the Year?
And then Alex, I'm going to butcher this last name, Alex Lotus from Florida State. I believe he's the
you got it right. Lotus. Yeah.
Okay. I have not watched that kid play. I don't know anything about him, but he's going to be hard pressed to be better than Vahiva to me.
Well, okay, but at the same time, all right, we've seen this lineup. I'm not going to really use the word struggle out of the gate.
They've been inconsistent.
And that's what scares me. And that's one of the reasons why I made the bet with Carolyn, because we've been so inconsistent.
I agree.
But what scares me the most is that all these talking heads, even with LSU on the horizon, if they make it to Omaha, if they make it out of the Super, even with LSU on the horizon, okay, everybody's saying that Arkansas is the team to beat. That scares the holy hell out of me because of that inconsistency.
Yeah. I will say this, there's another piece of this puzzle that comes into play. And if you remember back that 3-game series at the end of the season, Liam Doyle got shellacked by Arkansas. I think we put 6 runs on him. Now I believe that was the game that we ended up losing, but we put it wasn't. Okay. I couldn't remember which one who pitched that game, but Liam Doyle did not have a good outing at all versus Arkansas. And that's been in the back of his head, and now he's looking for revenge coming back. So that matchup between Liam Doyle and Vahiva Aloy, whoever has the most success head to head right there is probably going to win the Golden Spikes Award. Yeah, I don't think the Florida State kid has a chance.
I'm gonna put Carolyn's comment up here, D-Mad.
Okay.
She says, I already said if Aloy goes yard on Doyle, he wins. Yeah, and I'm hoping he does. I
have 2 guys. I have 2 guys in the lineup that I'm going to say we have to continue to get production from. And if we get consistent production from these 2 guys, we might win it in 2.
Okay. Let me guess.
Okay.
Cam Kozel.
Okay, that's 1.
Should I say Kendall Diggs? But
nah.
It's not Souza. Who's the other one?
Cahillo?
No, Iredale.
Vahiva? Oh, there it is.
Iredale's a good one, but I was thinking Reese Robinette because he has had, he struggled. He had that really good game against Tennessee where he had 2 home runs. He struggled a little bit after that, but then in the regional here, he seemed to find his stroke a little bit. He was on base as much as anybody. I mean, he had 5 or 6 walks, I think, but he ended up with, I think, 3 hits for the regional. You continue to get Kozel's been on a tear.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's just been on an absolute tear. If he can keep that up, and then you get Reese Robinette, I'll say this, if he gets 1 home run in the Super Regional, we're headed to Omaha.
There is one player that we need to talk about, though. Vahiva Aloy, he is not getting anything to look at right now.
I was just going to give you credit for that because you had said it in the conversation that you and I had a couple of days ago that he was getting the quote unquote Barry Bonds treatment.
He's not that close, but they're getting there.
Where they are walking him.
Here's the thing that scares me about him, because if you look at him last year, he chased a lot of pitches, man.
Mm-hmm.
He chased a lot of bad pitches out of the zone. And at times he has tried to revert back to that, and he's caught himself and brought his discipline back to where it has been for the majority of this year. But I have a fear that, if they're trying to pitch around him and kind of intentionally walk him, he's going to start swinging at bad pitches again.
Yeah, and that's part of that mentality that I've been talking to you guys about all season long.
I think also one more thing, Zach, while we're talking to Lois, I don't know what's going on with Cahillo, but he's got to find his stroke again, man. He's been in a bad slump, and I would love to see him just come out. I mean, he's in one of those slumps that's so bad that even when he hits the ball really hard, he's hitting it right at somebody.
But wasn't it you that said before we hit SEC play a couple of months ago? Wasn't it you that said that when he's going to cool off because of the level of competition that he's fixing to face?
Yep.
So you kind of predicted this. I'm sorry, D-Man.
And Bubba Carpenter even said something on the broadcast. He's a little bit late on the fastballs and a little bit early on the off speeds. He's just got to be able to find that happy medium, and he's not been able to find it so far. And you're right, he does have to heat up because I don't know who we have behind him that's going to be able to step up. But
Dave reworked the order, and that's when he moved Hellfreak up to clean up, and then moved Cahillo down to 6 or 7, I think, in the lineup.
He was 7th in the regional.
But something that I've been hearing from different shows is, people are talking about this series. Is it a depth series, or what is this series going to be made up of? And honestly, Arkansas's got all the advantages right now. And here's where Zach's mindset's going to start to creep in. Everything's going good for Arkansas in this.
Yes. Yeah.
What's the other shoe to drop?
Yeah. How are we going to screw it up? How is the hog going to hog? Yeah. Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about that, because it's all shaping up just way too pretty.
Again, if it's too good to be true, it usually is. I'm not a defeatist. All right. Trust me, I'm not a defeatist. I'm a Razorback fan. Been a Razorback fan through the Chad Morris years, all that. But I'm just trying to temper expectations a little bit.
Well, you also got Arkansas fans are absolutely insane. We are too hungry for a national championship, and that is what the problem is. Arkansas fans think that we should be an A-tier program, and we are currently a C-tier program. That's all what it is. We're not.
D-Mad, 2 words can describe the Arkansas fan base: instant gratification.
Yeah, I mean, they think that we should be where Auburn should be.
Yeah, but here's the problem, though.
We're not.
Okay, and y'all weigh in on this. Okay, let's say we do win a national championship. Okay, there's going to be.
He already shook his head. I saw that.
See. Wait a minute. And y'all know where I'm going with this. There's going to be a group of fans out there that aren't going to be satisfied with it. They're going to go, okay.
I don't know how you can. At that point, I don't know how even the biggest pessimist cannot be satisfied.
Just wait.
We talked about the expectations of Arkansas fans when it comes to baseball last week.
They're throwing fits about who the people that get to sit in the hog pen, that have to sit in the hog pen, who sits in the hog pen, who's not allowed to sit at the. Look.
I wish everybody just shut up, man. Just shut up.
Yeah, I mean, why?
They're too busy talking to watch the game. Shut up, man. What are you supposed to do? Just sit here and just do this?
Only students are allowed in your hog pen.
I think the whole thing is stupid.
Well, again,
the whole thing is stupid. Why does it bother some random fan if another dude wants to camp out?
Oh, and then now today's argument. Why can't I sit in my seat? What gives Razorback Foundation? What? Look, the foundation doesn't tell you where to sit. When it comes to the postseason and it comes to the supers and the regionals, it's the NCAA that tells the schools.
You have to.
This is what has to happen.
Well, and the way I understand it, some of the normal ticket holders got moved because we had to allocate a certain amount of tickets to Tennessee fans.
Big whoop.
Because in an NCAA regional, that's what you have to do.
Carolyn brings up a great comment. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Carolyn, you done kicked Hornets' nest now, dude.
I was one of the lucky few that was able to, slide in and buy a
Here
Hog
we
Pen
go.
ticket at $20. And then I turn around and I'm sitting there looking at SeatGeek for the Hog Pen, and it's sitting there at $100.
Yeah.
How
I
do
have a friend. I have a friend that's going up this weekend. Hog Pen tickets, $111 a piece.
You know what the craziest part about this is? You go to the Arkansas app. It has a spot on the app that says "Sell on SeatGeek." Sell on SeatGeek.
Hey, for those
What are
of
we
you that-
doing?
Wait a minute. For those of you that buying tickets on SeatGeek, if it's your first time, use code InsideHogPen to get $20 off your first order.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
those $100 Hog Pen tickets become $80 if it's your first order.
Thank you, D. That was a good setup. We're going to take one more break. On the other side of the break, I'm going to let D-Mad talk about the pitching from this weekend's regional, and how it affects the pitching going forward. You're listening to Inside the Hog Pen. More to come right after this.
Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
Hey, Hog fanatics! We at Inside the Hog Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not-so-good deal. As a special offer, Hog fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code INSIDEHOGPEN. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code INSIDEHOGPEN.
Attention Razorback fans and local businesses. Are you ready to reach the most passionate Arkansas sports fans out there? Introducing Inside the Hog Pen, not your normal Razorback talk show. We're fans first and don't try to hide it. No agendas, no propaganda. At Inside the Hog Pen, we call it like we see it. And now we're looking for sponsors to join the team. This is your chance to put your brand in front of thousands of loyal Razorback fans who live and breathe Arkansas sports. From small businesses to major brands, we have sponsorship packages tailored just for you. So let's grow together and make Inside the Hog Pen bigger and better. Don't miss out. Call 501-416-4331 or email us today at insidethehogpen@gmail.com and become a proud sponsor of Inside the Hog Pen.
It's time to step back inside the Hog Pen to the Mix Design Studios.
All right, welcome back to Inside the Hog Pen. As you can see, I'm prepping for the inevitable here. Coming up very, very shortly, I have to eat this biscuit covered in Nutella. Oh,
Puts the biscuit in the basket.
I don't know if y'all can see this. We were talking about selling the tickets on the app.
right.
Can't get it to focus. Jeez, hold on. Let's see if I can fix this.
Anyway, that is my inevitable doom, as we would say, is coming up in just a few minutes. I'm terrified of this, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. So, if you guys want to see
Better you than me.
if you guys want to see a literal choke job, no pun intended,
Just watch the next
share
series.
it, share it, like it, subscribe it, tell your friends, tell your families, tell your enemies, because it's about to happen. And
If you want to see somebody choke, just watch a Texas team.
Hey,
I don't know, dude. They're playing for a national title right now against Texas Tech in softball.
Yeah, but they were also playing for a national title in football. They were the number 2 seed in baseball. They were number 1 seed for weeks in in baseball. Huh. Seems like it got a little stiff around their neck.
Yeah, well. D-Man, I got to ask you. You know,
Mm.
we talk a lot about the pitch, the hitting, and the bats and how they get hot and everything throughout the season. But one thing that a lot of people haven't been talking about is the pitching, and especially the pitching this past weekend in the regional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, we had a lot of good outings. Let's just take for what it is. Like the first day, we had Jimenez. Jimenez kind of gave up 2 runs in early, and they pulled him after 3 2/3. And then you had Parker Coyle come in, and he just slammed the door on North Dakota State. And then you had the next day had Zach Root just shoving for 6 innings. I don't think I don't think we had that many walks over the weekend too. And then let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is Gage freaking Wood and Gabe
Rooster.
freaking Gaukel. Also, talk about Gage Wood. It is not the same thing as what's his name? Liam Doyle was doing at Tennessee. Now, Liam Doyle is talking across the field to the opposite team. Gage Wood is pumping up his team, not trying to showboat the other team. But Gage Wood and Gabe Gackel combined for 20 strikeouts and I don't know about 0 walks.
Yeah, that
20
was insane.
20 Ks.
The other thing
ridiculous.
about is it Zach Root? I think they need to play the Taco Bell every time he strikes a guy out.
I love that. I love that
was
idea.
really funny.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That is part of Arkansas lore right there.
Yeah.
And I see a NIL deal coming with the Taco Bell.
Taco Bell got in on it.
Yeah, there's definitely. I'm sure he's going to be reached out to coming in the near future. But no, going forward, kind of talking about how you'd play against Tennessee. We were already kind of talking about who you would throw on game 1. Right now, it's a good argument to put Gage Wood because he's just fire breathing right now. Put Gage Wood in against Tennessee and just win that first game. It's so important to win that first game. You have Gage Wood or Zach Root. It's a toss-up right now.
Yeah.
Zach Root plays an entirely different style of pitching than Gage Wood does.
Right.
By the way, Gage Wood, like I was texting Lanzilli during the game. He couldn't see it because he was at the game as much as we can at home. He threw a ball that literally started at the batter's head and hit the ground. It was an insane curveball.
Yeah.
I wish I had clipped it because that thing, I have never seen a ball die as quick as that ball died because it didn't just look like it just fell out the air. No, it went down.
I mean, Kevin Kopps had a nasty throw, but this?
Well, Kopps threw is a weird form of a changeup. It was more of a screwball type of changeup, except for a screwball, you kind of like rotate your wrist to the inside, which is it hurts your shoulder. Just let me put it that way.
Yeah.
This changeup, you kind of whenever you let go of it, he's got an outside or a right side rotation, so it kind of comes at a right-handed batter away from a left-handed batter. Totally opposed to anything that anybody's ever pitched before. And then it just dives down to the right. It's cheating because if you throw it at a left-handed batter, it's looking like it's going to hit you 90 feet or about 50 feet. And then at the last 10 feet, 6 inches, it dives back into the zone. That's why that ball was unhittable. And he followed up with a 97 mile an hour fastball. He was impossible. And Gackel's Gage Wood has kind of been doing the same thing. He got behind in the count on that home run and just had to claw his way back. And I think he got a 3-2 count. And you've got to make, I think, 2 runners on. You don't want to put a third runner on and then possibly give up a grand slam because then really momentum's going to jump. But, I mean, tip your cap to the dude. He hit the home run. He hit the hell out of it. Came back and struck out the next 7 batters, I think. So pitching's not all about just being able to overpower people. You're playing mind games.
Right.
Because whenever you're throwing a fastball, if you're throwing a fastball, like say it's ending right here every single time, you can throw a curveball that looks like it's going to end right here and it looks like a fastball. Then all of a sudden it just dips down and you're going to look really stupid on national television. That's what we call swords. And you see pitching ninjas just love to light up for that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I think.
Go
ahead. Well, I was just going to say with Gage, you got to assume he's probably going to go Sunday, because if I'm setting this up, I'm setting up Liam Doyle versus Root on Saturday.
I think they said Doyle's running Sunday.
Is he running Sunday?
I think they said he's going Sunday, and they're throwing Marcus Phillips on Saturday. That's how they did it.
I haven't seen anything either way, but I haven't done a deep dive looking for it yet either. But
I mean, you're not missing much from Tennessee Twitter, let me tell you.
Yeah,
all they do is name. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna.
We'll leave that alone before I get myself in trouble. But I just assume you're going to see Zach Root and Liam Doyle going head to head. I still think I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to say that's your Saturday matchup, and then you get Rooster on Sunday, and then if you go to Monday, let's go worst case scenario here, and we go game 3. Do you start Will McIntyre, Vital Cheese? Who do you start? Who do you start in game 3?
You bring Willie Mack out of the pen, but I think you either go with Parker Coyle or Vital Cheese.
What about Jimenez?
I think you bring him out of the pen.
I think you're going to see Jimenez, Parker Coyle, and Gackle first 2 games, no matter what.
Yeah.
Jimenez has been.
Go ahead, D.
I was about to say Jimenez has thrown a lot of Sunday games right now, and it's one of those kind of grit my teeth too. You got to have a plan for game 3, but you hope to God you don't get there, because if you
go ahead, Z. I'm sorry.
I was about to say, if you lose game 1, then it makes it simpler. Mm-hmm. But if you win game 1, you're going into game 2. It's going to become a little bit more difficult. And you're going to see more of our bullpen. I've been saying his name all year. Cole Gibbler. He's gonna be a monster. You heard it here first. He's going to get somebody this weekend. I'm speaking it into existence right now. Zach, when we come on to the show next week, you better put your finger up.
Oh, I'll put a finger up.
No, you won't. Not that one.
I think at some point, of course, if you get to a game 3, it's all hands on deck. It's anybody and everybody, because at that point it's win or go home, and you got to do what you got to do to move on. Yeah. And then you worry about the aftermath later. But I think at some point, I mean, I got to think Willie Mack is going to play a role at some point from the mound.
Yeah.
Even if he just comes in a, let's say it's a situation where they've got 2 on, 2 out. We have to get the guy at the plate because, that big hitter they've got, the dude that's hit all the home runs, is coming up next, and we got to get out of the inning and end the threat. I could see Willie Mack coming into a situation like that. He may not pitch, but to one batter. But I think at some point you're going to see Willie Mack play a very significant role in this series.
Yeah, and when it comes to Friday, you kind of look at what UALR did. UALR had a specific plan about how they were going to attack the entire LSU arsenal. They had a guy on, what was that, Saturday or Sunday night? Sunday night threw 5 1/3 innings, and he absolutely shoved against one of the best teams in the nation.
Yeah.
Well, that saved their bullpen. I can't tell you how much that saved their bullpen.
Yeah.
He threw 80 pitches. That saved their bullpen at least 100 pitches on 4 different guys.
Yeah, no doubt.
Carolyn's got a good point, because we also have to set up for next week.
We don't have to worry about next week until next week. I disagree, Carolyn, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. D, you ready for our last break so I can go?
Yeah. Also, I just want to throw this out there. No.
Yes. Do it. Do it. Please, come on.
My dad raised me right. I said this story many a times. I hope y'all have a great season. Not really. I hope y'all lose every single game. Go Hogs. Sorry.
I hate you, D.
There's some lines that can't be crossed.
Man.
That's your fault.
All right. It's the time has come.
It's biscuit time.
It is. It is.
That sounded a little bit Mike Tyson.
Biscuit time.
It's biscuit time. I'm gonna go warm this thing up just to kind of give me an edge.
Don't put water on it.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna doctor it. I'm not gonna put butter on it or anything. I will prove it when we get back. But go ahead while I'm gone and trying to fix this thing up. A couple of people have been talking crap about it. So, all right. It's do or die time. So let's do this. On the other side of the break, it's time I settle a bet. You're listening to Inside the Hog Pen. Back. Well, most of us will be back right after this.
Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
Hey, Hawg fanatics. We at Inside the Hog Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not so good deal. As a special offer, Hog fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code INSIDEHOGPEN. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code INSIDEHOGPEN.
Attention Razorback fans and local businesses. Are you ready to reach the most passionate Arkansas sports fans out there? Introducing Inside the Hog Pen, not your normal Razorback talk show. We're fans first and don't try to hide it. No agendas, no propaganda. At Inside the Hog Pen, we call it like we see it. And now we're looking for sponsors to join the team. This is your chance to put your brand in front of thousands of loyal Razorback fans who live and breathe Arkansas sports. From small businesses to major brands, we have sponsorship packages tailored just for you. So let's grow together and make Inside the Hog Pen bigger and better. Don't miss out. Call 501-416-4331 or email us today at insidethehogpen@gmail.com and become a proud sponsor of Inside the Hog Pen.
It's time to step back inside the hog pen to the Mix Design Studios.
All right, welcome back. Do I really have? All right, welcome back to Inside the Hog Pen. Okay, so here we go. For those of you that are wondering why I'm having to do this, I made a bet with one Carolyn Williams a few weeks ago saying that Arkansas would not make it out of their regional. And I've never been happier to lose a bet. Although,
You would make the same bet for Super Regional?
hell no.
Oh, okay.
Hell no. So y'all go through your final thoughts, and
Carolyn said that it looks like you're about to cry.
that might be a possibility.
I'm kind of cringing for him, to be honest with you. That's why I went and got a bottle of water, because just sitting there thinking about that was making me thirsty.
All right, here we go. Y'all banter while I'm putting the Nutella on this.
I don't know what banter means, but
Well, I know a couple of people. I know there's comments coming in about it, so y'all go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
I got this comment from Garrett Ray earlier. I kind of put it to the side.
I'm gonna mute my mic.
It says, "Not gonna lie, I'm seeing a redemption schedule in football than last year with a more experienced Taylor Green for first half of season 6-0 going to Knoxville, Tennessee to win, being undefeated into bye week thoughts inside the hog pen." So
I will say this right now, and if they are 6-0 going into Knoxville, the show we do leading up to that Knoxville game, I'll do it shirtless.
Shirtless.
I will go shirtless. I will shave my goatee and go, Mr. Clean look. But I mean, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but I can't see 6-0 going to Knoxville.
All right, I'm not gonna go shirtless. but I will shave my beard off.
That's how confident I am.
No, I got one better. MC. If we go 6-0 going into Knoxville, this one down here has to shave his beard too.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Wait, which one?
You.
You.
No. No.
Come on.
Oh my God. No. No.
Oh,
it's funny because as soon as she said it, I was like, "Oh no!"
All right, I think I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Just to prove, and I'm D-Mad, mute my mic so I don't chew in everybody's ear.
Right,
here you go. I put Nutella on it. Here you put
I'm
it
not
together.
muting your mic. I'm not muting your mic. I want to hear you.
However, I mean, it's pretty well covered in Nutella. I can see it about to drip out the side there. So you didn't skimp on the Nutella. So I think you're good if you split it or do it all together.
I got Nutella. I got the crap everywhere. Like I said, all over my head.
Yeah.
Hey man, you're supposed to use a toilet paper for that, man.
I'm glad I didn't take a bite when you said that.
I should have timed it better. That's my fault, guys. My bad.
I would have choked. All right, here we go. I'm gonna move my mic away.
All right.
Oh my.
Huh?
There's bite number one. All right, we got chewing. We're okay so far. It's getting a little thick, I can tell. The jaw muscles are working a little harder.
Man, he definitely doesn't need a workout with the jaw muscles. I don't know if you've been on the phone with him, but it definitely looks like James Harris just says, "Just eat it. Quit being a baby."
What do you think I'm doing?
Being a baby, apparently. Also, just kind of going with that Garrett Ray stuff. You know what's funny is if we're 6-0 going into Tennessee, does that not track on my Taylor Green will be in the Heisman conversation until week 7?
It kind of does, yeah.
It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
I mean,
Zach, how you doing over there, bud? Does it at least taste good? Does it at least taste good?
It's a Popeye's biscuit, man. It can't be that bad.
It's a little on the dry side, but the Nutella's making it work.
Nutella makes anything taste good. I mean,
Amy, that's between you two. That's all I gotta say.
Thanks, Amy, for having my back, babe.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
James Harris says, "Put the whole thing in your mouth." I'm a child. I am a child. Guys.
Yeah, that bite looked to be a little thick there.
I'm definitely hankering for a glass of milk right now.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this: it didn't.
You
look
still
like
have half of it, or is that all of it?
That's that's something.
You know what? I think I'm going to save this other half.
No.
I don't know. I'm not going to.
Now, Amy, yeah, I'm not betting my future like that. Listen, I will never be back in his house, and I like his house.
Okay, so my entire family is probably watching this show just to see me do this. I just got a text from my dad that said, "No, don't take the shirt off."
I do believe we would, if that was to happen, I think we would set a record for the lowest viewed episode we've ever had. So
Micah Cole comes in and says, "Kill Tennessee. Don't leave anything out." I had a Tennessee fan respond to me. I started talking to him about, throwing at people's heads. And he's like, "Now, why do y'all have to always go to that?" I said, that just tells me exactly how much baseball knowledge you have. Because I literally said in the tweet prior, the game is supposed to be self-governing.
Yes, 100%.
And he didn't know what I meant by that. Apparently, that was antiquated. I'm sure he had to. I'm sure he had to text to speak that one.
We have a little struggle on the chew.
A little bit.
A little bit of a struggle. It's getting a little thicker.
Paramedics on the way. If we are 6-0, would you cut your hair, Zach?
Yeah. Hey, Zach needs the MC due if we're 6-0.
Oh man, I'll be honest with you. I will shave my head if we go 6-0. I have hair.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'll make that bet. I will do it. I will have my wife shave my head.
Woo.
I'll be off work.
All right, can we
Fine.
allow him to take a drink? I'm scared to death he's going to choke.
He looks like he's struggling.
Hey, bet has been settled.
Yeah, get you a drink, man.
Oh, for God's sakes, please let me take a drink.
Go ahead, take a drink. We'll start talking with Garrett here. He thinks
now you're getting a little more realistic. 7-5.
Yeah,
you're a little more realistic there.
So me and Zach had this argument the other day, MC, about, hey man, there's still more water out there, man. You don't have to chug it.
Oh my God!
But I don't think 7 wins is out of the realm of possibility. I don't think that. So here's the thing: Taylon Green year 2, Ryan Mallett year 2, Tyler Wilson year 2. What's the common denominator here?
Yeah, I will give you that. But the first 2 names you mentioned and Taylon Green are not anywhere in the same universe.
Okay, wait. Hold on. Crap. We and I remember back when Tyler Wilson had his first start. Sorry, I got my toe. We didn't think he was all that either.
True.
His first game. Hold on.
Sorry. I grew up in Greenwood. Sorry, my bad.
His first game. He struggled out of the gate. All right. His first game, he struggled out of the gate. It wasn't until the following year that he actually started having that breakout, because it was the second year that he had that breakout game against Texas A&M, wasn't it? Where he threw for like 500, 600 yards?
541 yards or something.
Auburn.
Yeah, the Auburn 2010 game was when he come in relief of Mallett, and that was the first significant playing time he had.
Right.
Come in, look great. It's just he had 2 very untimely interceptions that ended up being the difference in the game. But you could see what he could be. But then I would say that Zach's probably right. That next year, the 500-yard game and the comeback against Texas A&M was probably the one that made everybody kind of stand up and take notice.
Oh, but at the same time, though, look, and I'll be a realist here. All right, I won't be a defeatist. I'll be a realist. We have no idea what this team's going to look like.
Yeah,
we have no idea, because this is the first actual full year Taylon Green has under Bobby P. It's the first full year Bobby P's had with the offense. Okay,
second year of the Eric Mateos too.
Yeah, and we don't know what this team is going to look like. Okay, we said that. Now I get it. We said this going into last year. This team could go 9-3. It could go 3-9. Unfortunately, we got to do the same thing, because you don't necessarily know what you have, because there are so many new moving parts.
Well, and looking at the schedule on paper, your non-conference schedule, man, is outside of Alabama A&M, it is not the gimme that it usually is, because you got Notre Dame coming to Fayetteville.
Listen to him, D. Listen to him, D. He thinks his employer is going to kick our butts.
I've made my feelings known on that one. You better not chalk that one up as an automatic W.
No, but again, D-Mad and I made this argument. Was it last week? That's how
whatever week I wasn't here. Yeah,
and even Dave and I have talked about it. That's what makes a rivalry, though. 1 year, look, 1 year of, and again, I'm not pumping sunshine. I'm being a realist here. How many years can Florida State beat Florida? Georgia Tech beat Georgia. Clemson beat South Carolina. Vanderbilt beating Tennessee. Again, that's what makes a good rivalry.
Yeah.
Every school in the SEC, every single school in the SEC plays their in-state sister, little brother. Sorry, it's 2025. You can identify however you want. But Arkansas doesn't, and so you're going to base 1 year. Now, if Arkansas State comes in and just completely dominates, yeah, you're in trouble.
I think it's a close game either way. I don't think either side dominates.
But again, if this thing comes down to the wire, I'm okay, because that's what makes a rivalry.
What do you think? Okay, let me figure out how to pose this question. are we more likely to see this matchup again if Arkansas wins in a blowout or if Arkansas State wins in an upset? Which way? Because right now, this is the only game on the schedule. There's not a second one on the schedule yet. Which way is it going to have to go for a round 2 to be more likely?
I think
I'm sorry. I shiny thinged a little bit. Can we shame Sam Pittman for keep on scheduling these out of conference games during the middle of the day? You have complete and total control. He has complete and total control of the game against Alabama A&M and the game against Arkansas State start times.
He doesn't.
Yes, he does.
The athletic department does.
Okay,
Hunter Yurachek
head of the football team.
See, I thought ESPN said all of that. I didn't think the university had any say in it.
So the way that it was told to me through various sources, ESPN and the TV rights are for the conference games only.
Okay, that makes sense.
The home school has say over the non-conference.
Okay, so with that being said, you don't think they're going to take the head coach's opinion on when to schedule the game? They're going to ask the coach.
Wait, I've got a response to that. MC will back me up because we talked about it last year. After the debacle from a year ago, where they moved the game back or moved the game up because of the heat of the day,
because that's Sam Pittman's dumb decision.
They're not going to take. If I'm Hunter Yurachek, I would not listen to Pittman at all after last year.
That's why I'm saying let's shame him on it.
Yeah. Because I don't understand why, if this is correct and we being the university or the athletic department have full say on the non-conference home games, why in the blue hell is that Alabama A&M game at 3:00 when it's going to be 9,000 degrees and 650 million% humidity?
That's all I'm saying.
Why not move it to at least 6:00, if not 8:00?
And also, Arkansas State starts at 4:00 too.
Yeah, those two games are going to be miserable
in
weather-wise.
The concrete jumble that is War Memorial.
I said it last year, and I said it the year before. Okay, that Little Rock game, that time's going to move because I've been right 2 years in a row.
Of course it is. Sam Pittman's going to say, "We got to get home, boys."
But again, okay, you have Sam Pittman, who is not a Division I coach. Okay, he's got 5 years as an experience.
He's a position coach.
Okay, on the other side of the field. Now, most people are going to argue with me. Okay, but on the other side of the field, somebody strap MC down to a seat. You've got Butch Jones.
Yeah,
he's got experience at Tennessee. He's got experience under Nick Saban. He's got experience as a Division I head coach. And he's also from Fayetteville to Jonesboro is what, 4 hours? 6 hours?
4.5 to 5. Yeah.
Okay. You don't think that they're going to converse with Hunter Yurachek and it's not Terry Mahajer anymore. Who's the AD?
They actually just hired a new guy today, the former AD at Houston. And
why am I not surprised? Where did Hunter Yurachek come from?
Right on the money.
Golly, what is that guy's name?
Why am I? Well, but again, anyway, you don't think that they're gonna advise the AD at A-State and Butch Jones because
Chris Pesman
because they've got further to track. Well, no, because I stand corrected. The game's in Little Rock.
It's about equal distance.
Yeah, I was.
It's about 2 hours from my house to War Memorial Stadium.
Yeah. It's about
an hour less of a drive for Arkansas State.
Yeah, I was mistaken. I forgot that.
Yeah, you were thinking Fayetteville. Yeah.
But again, here's the thing: whether we win in a blowout or we win by a point, or whether we lose by 14 points or lose in a blowout, how do you not continue this series? How? Instead of playing, well, they're not cupcakes if you're Arkansas, but instead of playing people like Louisiana Tech or one of the directional Illinois
Monroe
Monroe or Alabama A&M or the Florida A&M, switch them out with Arkansas State. I guarantee and I said it on the podcast. I guarantee you sell that stadium out every year, and you
Well,
bring,
and there,
you bring the prominence. You bring the prominence right back to War Memorial the way it used to be back in Houston.
there has been a major shift in the mindset over the last, I would say, 10 years when it comes to playing in-state schools. You know, for the longest time, it was, we don't acknowledge that they exist. You know, we don't acknowledge their presence, whatever. And then slowly but surely, you know, it started with some of the non-revenue sports, shall we say. And then when I guess Hunter was the first AD to kind of give it a stamp of approval, because the baseball was one of the first ones that I remember seeing. You know, Dave set up the midweek game with Arkansas State.
I thought it was softball first.
It may have been. Well, no, it wasn't softball, because A-State doesn't have softball.
Because I thought it was. You were saying in-state schools. I thought they did a deal with UCA first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, my mind is one track on that. But to kind of tie this a little further, you mentioned about Hunter Yurchek coming from Houston and this guy coming from Houston. If my timeline in my head is correct, this is the guy that came to Houston right after Yurchek left.
This was Yurchek's replacement.
Yes.
So now they're both in the state of Arkansas. And the crowd goes silent.
Move the games to a 7:00 game.
Carolyn, and we're not going to dive off into this. If you want our take on War Memorial, because we're going to be doing an updated one. Which, by the way, I've got a couple of programming notes before we get out of here tonight. Go back and listen to our podcast on War Memorial games from last year. But we will be doing an updated version of that. Okay, so a lot of people have been asking me, what's our plans now? As soon as baseball is over, I've kind of talked it over with the guys. Whenever Arkansas is done playing baseball, whether it's this weekend or whether we bring home the title, whatever, the guys and I are going to take a couple of weeks off. We're not going to take the whole summer off. We're going to take a couple of weeks off, and then probably either every other week, we'll be back doing live shows, and then alternating podcasts and live shows up until 4 weeks. So you're looking at probably August 1st as the 9th season of Inside the Hog Pen kicks off. 9 years. I can't believe I've been doing this 9 years. Holy cow! That means you've been my partner for what, almost 4?
February will be 4 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
But real excited about season 9. D-Mad's been a big part of it. Although with the baby, we don't know how much longer we're going to have him. But we've got some things on the pipe. October 11th, Argenta Plaza, North Little Rock, 2025 Little Rocktoberfest. We are back for our 5th year as MC and exclusive broadcast partner for Little Rocktoberfest. We're excited to be back. I will have a plethora of guests coming, and I think for the first time ever, I get my co-host.
We're gonna try to make that happen.
But
Zilly said he might try to make it too.
Hey, but I'll have a lot of guests like I do every year, and I'll have up to date commentary, up to date scores and opinions on the entire day with games like the Red River rivalry earlier in the day, Arkansas, Tennessee, and so many more across the SEC. So y'all come out. It's for a good cause. It's for charity. All proceeds go to the charity that they support. In years past, it's gone for casting for a cause or casting for a cure or something like that. Miracle League, an Alzheimer's Foundation, things like that. So y'all come out, support this event, support the charity, and come say hi to us. All right, come say hi to us. Your favorite Razorback podcast. And then September 6th, I can officially announce this. Saturday, September the 6th, broadcasting live all day leading up to kickoff of the inaugural matchup between Arkansas and Arkansas State. ITHP will be throwing once again this year, sponsored by Harris Made Chef Services. It is the Harris Made Chef Services tailgate show and tailgate party for the first time. we wanted to go all out, and I may have some big guests from 101.1 FM The Answer too. So y'all stay tuned for more information on that. But through the off season, what we're going to do when we come back and do our live shows, we're going to be taking each game from the football schedule leading up to August 1st, which is the kickoff of the 9th season of Inside the Hog Pen. We're going to break down the history, the series matchup, what to expect game by game. Like I said, leading you up to the 9th season premiere of Inside the Hog Pen with MC and D-Mad, and we've even going to have the wise man with us. So, final thoughts before we get out of here, fellas. MC, we'll start with you.
Attendance record's going to fall this weekend at Baum. This is going to be the most electric Baum atmosphere probably since the Charlie Welch game.
So what is capacity of Baum Walker? What is the official capacity of Baum Walker? Isn't it like 12, just over 12?
I think what they've gotten it to is around 12. Let me see if I can find that real quick.
12 sounds right.
I wish I could find the attendance record and see what we're going to try to break this.
I would not be surprised to see 14,500, maybe even 15,000 somehow squeezing in there this weekend. This is the matchup that everybody wants to see. This is Dave versus Tony, and the winner goes to Omaha.
So I'm gonna pose a question. We're gonna talk about this next week because we can go off in a rabbit hole for this one. Is DVH the Nick Saban of the college baseball world?
No, because he doesn't have the titles.
With that, you're gonna get technical with it.
Well, I mean,
the regular season home game attendance record is 11,103. LSU 4,911. I was at that game, I think. And the postseason game, which had the most people, was against Missouri State on June 6, 2015, 12,167.
I think we'll easily break 13. I'll call my shot now and say easily.
I'm going 14 plus.
I think we're
they need to have a what they call it, a decibel reader thing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know the technical term.
Careful what you say, Zach. People have been tending to take what we say on our show and apply it elsewhere. Also, did y'all see the picture of Gage Wood that the Arkansas baseball team posted that said Hawg Tua? Wonder where that came from.
Wonder where that come from. Yeah. That sounds familiar. I think we've heard that before, have we not?
Yeah, probably somewhere before that she became a scumbag, but I don't know.
So I'm not going to say anyway. D-Mad, final thought.
Make Tennessee fans wish they never had Tony Vitello.
Wow. You're going deep. Okay. You're going deep. Hey, before we get out of here, Dan Yoakum's got a question. If you walked up to the ticket office game day, could you buy a ticket in the Hog Pen? No. No. They are completely sold.
You better look for the people out front just holding the tickets up like this.
Hey, Dan, I don't know. I think you're on my Facebook. Message me and let me know how many tickets you need. We'll try to see if we can figure something out.
All right. That? Anybody else got anything before we get out of here tonight?
Go Hogs.
Whoop big, baby.
All right. Here we go. For Marcus MC Carlton, D-Mad, Dylan Madden, I'm Razorback Zach. You have been listening to an all-new episode of Inside the Hog Pen. And surprisingly enough, I survived the biscuit. Until next time, so long, everybody.
Thanks for watching this episode of Inside the Hog Pen. Listen anytime on your favorite podcast provider, and be sure to follow us on all our social network channels.